Hotep, Black Power, it's your brother Shaka saying cold food with you. On this early morning, want to discuss a few things because we got to be rise and shine, rise and shine. I know I am very energized every morning. Also, being grateful just to be alive to see another day and being blessed to be given another day to fight this goddamn cracker. And I'm gonna do the best I can, as always, to battle this motherfucking devil so we can have some peace. Our people can have some peace. And the generations to come after us will be able to have some sort of liberation and salvation. Yesterday I discussed the so-called epidemic that these crackers are dealing with this fentanyl, which the black community has been dealing with this shit forever. It's nothing new to us, about any type of epidemic. White supremacy is an epidemic that has plagued the black community since we got off the goddamn boat. So, and every time we conquer something or overcome something that this bastard puts in front of us, it's something else. And everything that they put in front of us, they can't deal with it themselves. It tears them apart, such as this fentanyl. Now, this shit has been in the black community for years. They've been, this crackers been using this shit to cut the dope with and put into the black community, for years. Such as another example, and I'll go off base a little bit, just like when the crackers deliver Pepsi Cola and Coca-Cola, soft drinks and malt liquor and snacks, potato chips, Lay's, Utz, and all those other motherfucking devils. Because Utz, that's a family of pedophiles up in Pennsylvania, and Snyder's of Hanover as well, up in Pennsylvania, up in the mountains. It's 3 generations of pedophiles, and what they've been doing for generations is that they've been seducing and kidnapping stray whites and taking them up in the mountains where they make these potato chips and these snacks at, and they've been sexually abusing them, making them into sex slaves, which you don't hear too much about that because the cracker enjoys being a motherfucking sex slave. Anything that got something to do with something going in his mouth and his ass, is like a delicacy to this motherfucker. So, but anyway, when they deliver these sodas and these snacks into the black stores, if you look on the dates of most of those sodas and snacks, they're very, very outdated. And what they do, they lower the price. They'll give it to stores like Walmart and Dollar Tree and stores like that. And you're thinking you're getting a deal, but you're actually getting old, flat sodas and stale snacks. And they've been doing that for centuries. For decades. And now this fentanyl shit that's been plaguing the black community for so long. But like I said, everything that they give us, when it hits them, they can't deal with it. Now it's an epidemic to them. They can't handle it. When it's in the black community, it's all good. But now, once again, like I've always mentioned, when it leaks out and filters over into white suburbia America, then it becomes epidemic. But see, this shit goes all the way back to World War II. When you talking about fentanyl and his goddamn cracker, who's the original motherfucking junkie. He is the original dope fiend. If not, you can do the history and look at what Hitler. Hitler was a goddamn dope fiend, and all he did was shoot dope during World War II, and used this other drug called, I think it's called Revitin. Revitin, which is equivalent to crystal meth. And the soldiers were using that Revitin, and they were also using heroin, mixed with a variety of other drugs. And that kept the soldiers fighting without having to worry about being cold. A lot of them, if you look at a lot of footage, you can see these motherfucking devils running across fields, in ice cold weather, and for us, we had to use daylight savings time for the U.S. troops. That's where daylight savings time was originated, because in the wintertime it got dark early, so they turned the time back a couple of hours, making it late, making it dark at the early hours. And then, when the weather is warm, they would extend the hours, so they would have more time to fight, because the sun was out longer, during the spring and summer months. So, it would get dark in the spring and summer at 8:30, 9 o'clock, opposed to the wintertime, it would get dark at 5:15, 5:30, because of the inclement weather. However, this devil Hitler and his troops were so goddamn high, that they didn't make no difference what type of weather conditions they were faced with, because of the fact that they were out there fucking mines, and shooting this crystal meth and shooting this heroin all motherfucking day. And then when they got too strung out, what he would do, he got with a scientist over in Germany, and they invented a substance to detoxify and stabilize a lot of the troops that were strung out, called methadone. That's where it originated from, in Germany during World War II, and it was to stabilize a lot of those crackers that was so fucked up, off of heroin and this Revitin, So and it curbed their appetites, and it did a bunch of other things, So when you talking about a epidemic, which they claim that they're dealing with right now, which is not over with. Because, see, the cracker is greedy. When it comes to drugs, he is a greedy motherfucking savage. Enough is never enough to him. And I guarantee you, those motherfucking crackers that died fucking with that fentanyl were probably greedy, junky motherfucking dope addicts. That enough wasn't enough. And I know, being out there in the streets, when the crackers pull up, because they spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, trying to get high, and they always go overboard, and they use these old fucked up connotations, that relates to getting high. Man, I'm fucking smashed. I'm fucking shit-faced and all this old bullshit. Nasty, savage goddamn connotations, relating to how they were feeling. And that's, when they say that shit, and that's who they are. Shit-faced motherfuckers. Because they eat shit. And you always hear them say that, tell each other that when they mad at them, eat shit and die and all that, and which is true. They have a history of eating shit, munching on horse turds and all that type of shit. If you don't believe me, all you have to do is go and look it up, Google it up, how they show you pictures of them, shitting on each other, shitting in each other's mouths and all that shit. because they're filthy like that, you know. But this fentanyl, which is you're gonna hear a lot about. You're gonna hear a great deal about this fentanyl, about this shit. Like I said, once again, it affects. It has spilled over into white suburbia America. They don't give a damn about us, and that's what the point I'm trying to make to our brothers and sisters is that we need to come up with a contingent plan, to remove ourselves from the drug subculture in terms of being users, because they're gonna come up with a plan, and they're outraged that the same shit that the same plan and diabolical scheme in terms of this fentanyl that they have placed in the black community is now backfiring on them. So they're gonna really come at the black community with some more potent chemicals, because this is chemical warfare that we're dealing with. From the foods we eat, from the water the water that we drink, especially in Flint, Michigan. Everybody thinks that Flint, Michigan is the only place in the United States that has fucked up water, and that's not true. The same water in Flint is in Washington D.C., is in Philadelphia, is in New York, is in Atlanta, it's in South Carolina, it's in Miami. Anywhere where the inner cities where there's a concentrated level of blacks and melanated people, you're gonna have that fucked up water. And if you notice, when we are near water, when melanated people are near water, we're more in tune with the universe, because water concentrates the pineal gland, and once the pineal gland is concentrated, we're able to. In other words, your third eye becomes more energized and stimulated. Excuse me. And the pineal gland becomes stimulated, which enables us to be totally in tune with the universe. And that's the reason they keep us away from the water, keep us away from beaches, keep us away from the oceans, because as long as we're around this concrete, it helps to calcify the pineal gland, and that's where we have violence, along with the chemtrails just in the air dropping down all these different chemicals and illuminated ammoniated substances, B12 and all types of chemicals to trigger the pineal gland, to keep it paralyzed in a paralyzed state, and to calcify it as well. But when we're near water, our pineal gland becomes concentrated. We're in tune with the universe. We're able to do so much. Because if you notice, no black communities are near water. And if it's near water, it's near polluted, dirty, filthy, muddy water. And if you notice, in every inner city, next to the black community is always the water treatment plants. The sewage plants are always the closest community to all the sewage and water treatment plants are black communities. And see, brothers and sisters, we have to pay attention to this shit, because you wonder why, you may have 5 or 6 murders in one night, and 12 in another night, and houses are exploding, gas leaks. Our elderly are having these major heart conditions, going into cardiac arrest, and it's because of the combination of these things that we are taking in. You know, and with the foods we eat, the GMOs. You know, and it's a way to deal with that too. You know, if you go in the grocery store, you look at fruit and look at the barcode. You know, if it has 4 numbers, that means that if it's a number 4 on the end of the numbers on the barcode, that means that that's a organic fruit that is good for you. You know, and if it has a 6 or a 7, that means that it's cloned. Because there's no such thing as a seedless watermelon. How can that be a seedless watermelon? And it takes seeds to make the watermelon. So how was that watermelon? How are these watermelons created? Because they're created, they're not grown, they're created. You know, so we have to be careful about the things we eat, about the air we breathe, the water that we drink. You know, specifically when you're talking spring water, Deer Park has the worst pH level of all the waters. Deer Park is just like drinking literally out of the faucet. And if you go and look on YouTube, it's a brother on YouTube that he lines all these bottled waters up, all the major bottled water, and he gives them a pH test. And there's a few of them that are very, very good. I'm not going to mention the names because, you know, I want you to do your own research and come up with your own conclusion and see for yourself so you can, you know, understand what's going on, because he can explain it better because that's his area of expertise. So, but Deer Park is the worst. Deer Park is the worst. And when, you know, and when you put lemon and lime and baking soda and Himalaya salt, which are combinations that you can put in regular spring water to enhance the pH level. With Deer Park, the pH level goes down when you put those ingredients in it, and that's how bad the water is. Deer Park water, you know. But the rest of the water, if you just take a pinch of Himalaya salt, you know, and cut a lemon up, and a lemon and a lime, you know, and like a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and let it sit, you know, for a few hours, you'll have a high pH level of alkaline water, you know, and it's very, very helpful. It's very, very helpful. And to be honest, my water intake has went down. So I vow, you know, started this week to really enhance my water intake, because it's very, very important. Very, very important if you want to stay healthy. Because for the most part, you know, what really makes you healthy and keeps you with a youthful look is, you know, meditation, proper dieting, less stress, connect with your ancestors, walk in a spiritual walk, not a religious walk, a spiritual walk, meaning that you don't have to follow any type of religion or have any type of read any type of doctrines or whatever, because, you know, if you are the original everything, then, you know, you are spirit, man, and woman. You just have to understand yourself and study yourself, you know, and look within. Because everything that you're looking for outside is within, including God. You know, religion teaches you that you're nothing. You know, you were born in whatever sin means, a piece of shit, and you have to, and you can't feel like anything unless you give praise and take your energy and your God self and give it to a white man with long blonde hair with a white motherfucking robe on with no goddamn drawers. You know. And that's the reason religion has divided us up. It splits us up. You know. You have the Muslims, you have Christians, you have Jehovah's Witnesses, you have the Hebrew Israelites. You know, you have different sets, and everyone thinks that their way is the way. There's no other way but through them. If you don't take that path, then you're doomed. And that's just being programmed. That's programming. You know, and you know, the Creator is a universal God. You know, as long as you understand who you are, understand that you are spirit, man, and woman, that you are God in the flesh, you know, and understand who your adversities are. Understand who the enemy is. The enemy is the motherfucking cracker. The white man is the devil. The devil that y'all talk about in all these scriptures and all these books, that's the damn white man. That's the goddamn cracker. He is the king of destruction. He is the master of mayhem. He's the orchestrator of chaos. He's the conductor of death and murder. Who do you know? If you look, just look back into the 60s. I'm not even gonna go that far back. Just go back into the 60s and watch the footage of the brothers and sisters that were lynched and hung and chewed up, their genitals chewed off by German shepherds. Fire department coming and spraying human beings, brothers and sisters, with 1,100 pounds of pressure in those water hoses, knocking their heads, literally knocking their heads off, taking their legs off, you know, ripping the skin off our brothers and sisters. And anyone that could stand and do this with no conscience and be fully comfortable with the murder and mayhem and destruction and slaughter of millions of people is a fucking devil. Someone who causes that type of destruction. And we're going to continue this conversation shortly. I have some things I have to take care of, you know, places to be, people to see. So I'll be back with you shortly. Hotep, Black Power.